Good evening. I'm here today on behalf of CV Marketing and Communications Agency to present our campaign for the Adidas running line. The purpose of this campaign is to be able to increase the footprint of Adidas with all marathoners and half marathoners, and in general, the running community. The way we would want to go about this is by increasing brand awareness with the marathoners and half marathoners in the community. In addition to this, we want to create a brand that becomes synonymous with the Boston Marathon. Adidas is going on their 26th year of being the sole technical sponsor of the marathon. This is a huge opportunity for the company. Another objective and way of going about our bigger purpose is to increase the amount of runners who are running in Adidas shoes at the actual Boston Marathon. Also, we would like to market the Adidas Energy Boost shoe further, and we want to increase the traffic to the website that we were looking to restructure. Our target audiences include males and females in the age groups of 18 to 64. We know from research that our largest Boston Marathon age group is actually 18 to 39, but because of running as a lifetime sport, we think that it is definitely important to include all ages, including the 18 to 64 bracket. This target audience also includes marathoners and half marathoners, with also our geographical regions, including Washington, D.C., New York City, Boston, and Chicago. Why are we doing this? Research shows that Adidas is the least used brand amongst all major brands. It is also the least tried brand. This means that most of the people who we surveyed had never even tried Adidas shoes for running before. We also found that nobody really knows that there's a correlation between the Boston Marathon and Adidas. This is really important because seeing that they're going on the 26th year of sponsorship, there needs to be more of a connection with runners. In order to do this, we need to solely focus on using the Boston Marathon and using Adidas and connecting them in all of our marketing and advertising tactics. Some of the strengths that Adidas has is their brand and as a whole. Everybody knows who Adidas is. Adidas goes hand in hand with running, with sports. They're in the same brand recognition as Nike. So that is a huge plus for the brand. They also do sponsor an elite, Wilson Kipsang, and I think that as a whole, it's important to sponsor these elite athletes once we get even more brand recognition, something that maybe we'll do in the future, a year or two from now. Another strength that Adidas has is that their current line of running shoes is very good. Some of the people that we researched actually really enjoy the shoes. The problem is that there isn't enough brand awareness with the shoes and as to how good they really are. Some of the weaknesses that Adidas has is that most people don't see them as a performance running shoe. They see them as a hang around the house, go to the mall type of shoe. We definitely want to change that opinion. We want people to see Adidas as a shoe that they can go run a marathon in. As mentioned before, another weakness is that there is a shortage of elite athletes being sponsored by Adidas. Some of the opportunities, like I had also mentioned before, is that we're going on the 26th year of sponsorship with Adidas sponsoring the Boston Marathon. This is a huge opportunity for all branding materials and advertising materials. Another opportunity is an increase in individuals running in the community, which means that there's always opportunity to put people in our shoes. Instead of having them go through Asics and Brooks and Mizuno, we should put them in Adidas first. It's the first shoe that they're going to run in, and it's the last shoe that they're going to run in. We want them to fall in love with Adidas. Threats are also the popular running shoes are gaining more ground. We see more and more people going with Asics, more and more people going with Brooks. We need to change that. Another threat is that these smaller brands, Newtons, Hoka's, they are gaining popularity amongst runners, and it's crazy to think that Adidas, a huge brand as big as it is, isn't getting as much attention as these other smaller brands. So that's definitely something that we want to work with. How are we going to go about this? How are we going to market Adidas as this huge brand for running, as the Boston Marathon of shoes? Well, the big piece that we want to do, the big kahuna of marketing tactics here is the advertorial piece in Runner's World. Runner's World is the most subscribed magazine for runners of all different distances, but a lot of half marathoners and marathoners really read this, enjoy it, and they trust what's in it. So this advertorial piece is going to be a group of 6 different people. They are not models, they're not professionals necessarily, they are all different age groups, and we're going to put them and give them each a page, and it's going to have a little bio, and some of these are going to be current marathon qualifiers. They're going to be people who have never qualified for Boston Marathon, who want to, people who have qualified in the past. We want to use all different types of females, males, different races, as many as we can fit into the 6 people who are going to be involved with this. And the whole point is they're going to be wearing Adidas shoes. They're going to be talking about how Adidas got them to the race. And at the bottom, of course, of these ads, the 6 pages, we're going to have a link between the Boston Marathon and Adidas, and have that at the bottom, and showcase that this is obviously an ad, but it's a nice reading piece for runners. In addition to this, we're also going to be doing our magazine advertisements, which are going to go in Runner's World, Running Time Magazine, Competitor Magazine, and Triathlete Magazine. We're also going to be doing the traditional newspaper advertisements. That's going to be going in the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Boston Globe, and the Chicago Tribune. The reason we chose these is specific to the geographical reasons we mentioned before, which is that Washington, D.C., Chicago, Boston, and New York, these are the hub for the big marathons right now, and we want to target those. Another traditional advertising method we're going to go about is outdoor marketing, so billboards and subway ads. In addition to this, we're also going to be doing online advertising, so a remarketing campaign. If people go on the Adidas website and they exit out, they're going to be able to get to it again by searching on shoes or whatever website they come across. You're going to see a banner ad and it's going to have Adidas, so people will have the opportunity to click on it. Another big piece of this campaign is the POS marketing campaign at the Boston Marathon Expo. This is actually really cool. It's a really different initiative. What we want to do is have a setup at the expo, and it's going to be a display of shoes, and every runner who's registered for the race will be given a little card, and this card is going to have a barcode on it. When they get to the expo, they're going to be able to scan this card, and if they're a winner, it's going to tell them right on the spot, and they're going to be able to get a free pair of shoes. If they're not a winner, they'll still get a discount, whether that's 10, 20, 30%. We'll decide that at another point, but still, it's an incentive for them to come visit, check out the shoes, possibly get a free pair of shoes. After all this, we're also going to be doing a public relations and social media campaign. The public relations press release will be going out just to announce the restructuring of the website, which we want to have a section on the website that shows how to choose shoes. You're going to be able to choose a shoe based on minimalist, on support, on pronation, and these are all really runner jargon terms, but these are the terms that people look for when they're searching for shoes, according to our research. So it's important that once we do restructure the website, that we announce it through press release and various different types of media, but specifically the press release and social media. And the social media campaign is open to various things for this campaign. So social media will announce different aspects to the Boston Marathon, the Energy Boost shoe. We're just going to use it all around, and it's going to be a really good tool. What we want to offer you is we want to be able to do everything that we just discussed, all creative efforts, all buy-ins for the newspapers, the magazines, expo space, all social media activity. The only thing that we won't personally be able to work on is the website restructuring, but we are fully on board with marketing this once it is complete. The budget is pretty hefty, but we are fully confident that if we do go through with this campaign, there's going to be increase in sales, increase in brand awareness. Those are the 2 biggest things, and we're going to have a bigger footprint in the running community. The total budget necessary for this campaign, we're looking at about $4.5 million, and this includes all marketing activities, all buy-ins, all POS costs, all public relations, creative activities. So it does include everything. How are we going to measure this campaign? First, obviously, we're going to look at the running shoe sales. Another way, what we want to do is look at the surveys that we did this year, recreate them, and send them out again a year from now. See how people respond. We want to see if people are still not trying Adidas shoes. Have they been trying them more? Are people now more interested in using them? So we want to send that out again and see how people respond. Obviously, websites and whatnot, we can see the counters and see IP addresses and see who's visiting and how long they're on the sites. Another really cool way that we think is really interesting is to use the Boston Marathon registration as a way to measure this campaign. When people go on to register for the race, we want them to have a drop-down menu to say, okay, this is the shoe that I'm running in. So basically it'll ask, what shoe do you currently train in? And there's going to be a drop down. It's going to say Adidas, Nike, Asics, Brooks. It's going to give them a whole list of options, and they're going to choose. And once all those registrations are in, we're going to be able to get an idea of what shoes people are running in and if this campaign really did have an effect. Lastly, we want to use surveys at local running stores. So we're going to have Adidas reps go drop off just paper surveys. And when people do go to buy Adidas shoes, the local running store people there will actually give them the survey to fill out, and it'll just say why they're buying the shoe, what are they training for, any specific reason why they bought Adidas, and it'll just give us an idea as to this campaign and how well it worked. We really hope that you'll take all of our information into consideration. We really think that this will help improve the footprint of the Adidas brand in the running community and help Adidas see a regeneration of their great products in the marathon world. So we really appreciate your time, and I thank you for hearing us out. Have a great night.